People deluded. Now, most Arsenal fans, we knew the target was top four this season. We don't know, well, come Sunday against Manchester City, parity could be restored and we could be behind, I believe, Chelsea and definitely United. We could be behind both sides. So that's the beauty of the Premier League. If you're neutral, it's quickly turned around. Look at United. They were way off 11 points and they've somehow come back in the cup. So while I don't feel Arsenal are going to do it, there's reasons to have a bit more confidence. But for me, if I'm an Arsenal player, if I'm Unai Emery, if I'm anyone connected with the club or just a fan, I'm looking at it strategically. I'm thinking, you lot know already, I look at the league in 3 or 4 stages. For me, if you start the season, you look at it, you don't really watch what other teams are doing from August until the end of the season. I'd say August until December, not end of the season, end of the year. August to December, you think about not dropping dumb points like you've seen with Arsenal, just staying in and amongst the pack, anything, and that can, what I mean by pack, that could be anything from 1st to 5th, as long as it's not too many points, you're in and amongst it. That's the key, people. Not getting too disheartened when you lose, not getting too excited when you win. You get out of January now. I mean December and January. For me, it's January till March. You've got to do a madness, people. March, we've got some big games coming up, people, and the boys are really gonna need to show their mettle in regards to the top 4 because what Spurs away. Now we know the Wembley Stadium more than Spurs. We've won more, but banner aside, we haven't, excluding obviously the home result this season, we haven't done too well against Spurs. I was at Spurs away last year, and that was arguably one of the worst performances I saw from everybody. To be fair with you, we've got to go and do that. We've got to play United in the league at home as well. I believe we've got to go to Wolves away, and the Spurs and Wolves, who made us drop points already, but the Spurs and United games are back to back, so it's going to test our mettle. If you look at April to May as well, we've got some favourable games towards the end of the season on paper, but if you look at it, we've got a crap load of away games. We've got to go Leicester away. We normally do alright there, but it's a fight. We've got to go to Watford away. Now we've won at Watford away, but there's many not too many happy memories as well. I know you lot can all remember Xhaka in the blue kit, unaware and stuff, and you know Troy Deeney wants to bad us up so he can go and talk on Match of the Day and all them things there. So there's him. I think we'll beat Everton away, but until the game happens, who knows? And our away form hasn't been good. Burnley is a tough side to break down for Arsenal. We've got to go to Burnley, so there's a lot of away games to play. I do believe, excluding Manchester City, which a ground we haven't won at in a while. I believe Coquelin and Santi Cazorla. We know our away form. I know we got a point against United this season, and that's at Old Trafford, and for Arsenal that's big. But our away form, dropping dumb points, and our away form is probably what's going to make us fall short for me, people. Manchester City is a write-off on Sunday, yes, but it would be a big claim if we was to take 3 points. We've got Huddersfield after that, I believe. We've got to play Bay in the Europa League twice, and then we've got Southampton at home, and we've got to play Bournemouth at home. So these are games you expect to win. Obviously, it's easy for me to sit here on paper and say that, but for me, the away form's got to improve. We've bettered our away form last year, and we was doing all right up until West Ham, in my opinion. Again, I don't have stats to hand, but that's a big thing, our away form. Now, away from the away form, I'll get touch back on it for a sec, sorry, but dumb points. I say dumb points. You're always going to drop points in the season, innit? Unless someone is going to win 38 games, go undefeated, which is impossible unless you're doping in today's day and age, doping up your players and things like that. Dumb points. Now, Brighton away, we dropped points there last year, we dropped points there this year. Southampton, you guys know we're never decent at Southampton. We dropped points where Giroud saved us last year. We got defeated there this year. Obviously Chelsea's a bit of a different one, but Chelsea and United, 2 games where if you look at it, Chelsea, we got ourselves back in that game. We didn't walk away with nothing. United was poor defensively as well. Both teams were a bit crazy, but from our point of view, possibly could have got something out of that. Crystal Palace drawing away from home. I feel Unai Emery's tactics kind of messed the game up, but either way, the players didn't do the business. Wolves at home, West Ham away, which I feel again Unai Emery not starting Torreira in that game made us pay, and Aubameyang's work rate wasn't exactly the best, but either way we was woeful. So we dropped a lot of dumb points. We've still got to play City at the time of making this video because Sunday hasn't come. We've still got to play Spurs. Now I'm confident against Spurs, but you've got to respect Spurs as much as Arsenal fans want us to keep trying to little man them, and they're still little man because they're getting praised for stuff that is really just the basics of a team that aspires for greatness. But you get me, they're a 30 team. We've still got to play a couple big sides. Our away form has been better, but it's still been atrocious because even the games we've won, they've been narrow victories of sorts. A point's a good point against United, but we could have taken all 3. We could have lost, but we could have taken all 3. 2-1 against Newcastle. Forgive me if I'm wrong. I think Newcastle, to be fair, scored in the dying embers, but it was a nervy game. Bournemouth, the victory against Bournemouth, what was it, 2-1 or 3-2 or something like that. It could have just been 2-1. The same goes for that. Cardiff 3-2. We scored in the last 9 minutes or so. So you're seeing how these games are filled with drama and stuff like that. We've got to put a run of form together to have any chance. We have to. For me, anyways, from you might I was gonna say from March till May, but you might as well say from February to May. We got to treat every game like a cup final. We are gonna still drop points. We are gonna drop points. And you're looking at Spurs. You're hoping Spurs drop points and come out the top 4. You're hoping Chelsea keep wobbling. You're hoping United go through a bad run of form, because it seems like anything Ole Gunnar Solskjaer touches seems to be turned into magic right now. But yeah, man, like it don't really. The away form is why I think we'll fall short, man, because I've got it written down, some of the things here, but it's like you look at the draw against Palace, the draw against United, defeat against West Ham. Forgive me if I'm wrong. 5-1 victory was away from home against Fulham, right? Forgive me if I'm wrong, people. If I'm wrong, then I'll hold my hands up. But a point from that, a key point, regardless of where we played that game, would be obviously we won 5-1. But if you remember in that game, we looked like we could draw that for a second. Then we went and we done a mad flurry, and you saw the pretty good combination plays as well. So there's that. Like I said, it took us to the last 8-10 minutes against Cardiff, 2-1 victory against Newcastle. Was it the result against Chelsea at the start? What was it, 3-2? Obviously, Liverpool's a write-off. We took the lead against Liverpool and ended up getting battered 5-1. We lost 3-2 to Southampton, 1-1 against Brighton. These are obviously you're going to drop points, but these are too many points dropped, and we're going to drop more. These are things you should be looking at, because these are the sort of games, literally some of the teams, you know as an Arsenal fan, West Ham away is a nervy one. Palace away is a nervy one. Brighton, based on how it was last year, I don't need to tell you about going to St Mary's or Selhurst Park. If we win, most Arsenal fans, in fact, just speaking for myself, it's a nervy one. Southampton, I don't know what they put in our pre-match food and stuff to make us play like that. Palace, make it hard for you. The fans get on top of you. So no disrespect, Palace, a very outdated stadium. It's actually quite a horrible stadium, depending on where you sit, but I think it's one of the best stadiums in that. Them man, they're always rocking. Them man, they are very close to the pitch and things like that. And for one reason or another, I don't even necessarily... Obviously, a lot of it falls down with how we set up tactically and all the football stuff. But I think there's something mental with Arsenal and away games. I don't think we can deal with the fans getting on top of you. I don't want to sell this because, again, you look at around our squad, whether you believe in these players or not, they're senior pros with how many career appearances at all levels. Some of them have played for international countries. Not to make this move this on from football, but some of these players have played against countries where there's political issues between the two nations. So probably more hostile environments than your average England Premier League game. So I don't know what the mental issue is in regards to our away form. If I had to offer it, I just feel... it just stems from wanting to play. If a team gets on top of us and stuff like that, we start going into a shell. We really can't handle sustained periods of pressure when a team's battering us, and that's probably one reason when a team sustains pressure and scores why we quickly concede another goal. Even if you look at both Manchester United games, what is it, 3 minutes or so in the FA Cup fixture for Lingard in the first goal and Alexis's goal, sorry. You got to look at the goal. You got to look at Lingard's goal in the league at Old Trafford. We literally just scored and went and conceded again. So these cheap mistakes, and the players are the players. The players have to improve. Some players have to be let go. But I can't not praise Unai. People were praising Unai Emery at the start of the season, improving us defensively and things like that. I have to keep it true. I have to wonder what we're doing in training, because again, I'm not expecting fireworks with these rubbish defenders, but what I'm trying to see is an evident proactiveness in defending. We're not doing the same things. We're not at 6s and 7s. We're moving as a unit, shuffling across. When one engages, someone drops into the space. If I was seeing these sort of things and we're still coming up short, at least you could see it being implemented. I don't see that, and I have to ask why, because you can't say he's not working with the defenders, because clearly he's worked from pre-season until we played City. You saw, even when fans didn't want to believe that we could do it, you saw an insistence on playing out from the back. So what does that tell you? That means he's obviously training the whole team, but he's specifically taken the defenders out of training and had specialist sessions where they need to be to receive the ball off Leno, who they could possibly pass to. And if we want to go deeper, he's clearly told the midfielders, because what do you see? When the centre-halves peel, when the keeper has the ball and the centre-halves peel to the edge of the yard box to make an option, you see either Torreira or Xhaka drop in to receive it. We're clearly working on that. So why aren't we working on defensive aspects? We do see it in stages. I'll give us credit for Spurs at home. I'll give us credit for the point against Liverpool, the draw victory against Liverpool for us Arsenal fans. Yeah, man, but there's not too many games like that where we're brave and we're at it are too far and beyond. So, and they're not always going to happen. We need to be a bit more calculated. And I have to wonder what Unai Emery is doing with them. I'm not blaming him, but you have to keep it chill, people. If you can praise Unai Emery for the counter-attacking side, if I can praise him for how he's making us devastating on the counter-attack, we're still scoring a lot of goals. It goes over people's heads, but I believe he's done very well for set pieces. Arsenal, I don't think we used to take advantage of set pieces for the last few seasons. This season, I feel we have. We've scored from how many corners and how many free kicks being put into dangerous areas. Not even just that, I'm seeing variation with the set pieces. We might go one short, one long, just very well rehearsed set pieces that the boys are working on. So if he's doing that and he's making us play out from the back, then why can't I ask questions defensively? Again, the players are the players. I'm talking about the tactical approach to and the proactiveness to our defending, which is non-existent, which I'm sorry relies on the manager. All in all, people, again, I have all the confidence as you can have as a football fan, but I'm never going to sit here and lie to you lot and just say things people want to hear. I don't believe we're going to get top four. I hope to God I am wrong. I hope to God we get Champions League via Europa League or this route. But I can't see it, people, because I look at United, they got a resurgent form. Chelsea probably miss out as well, but Chelsea, you never know. If they get back in form, they got Eden Hazard, they're back in with a shout. Spurs have done it in third for me. They probably got to look over their shoulders, but you get the point, man. I think we're going to fall short, but if we aren't going to fall short, we need to be serious in regards to March till May, essentially, man. We've got a lot of away games coming and our away form has been atrocious, so we're going to need to pattern. But for now, anyways, people, DG.